Good morning. Thanks for allowing me a few minutes of your time this morning as we kick off the season of Lent. Today is Ash Wednesday, and I'd like to invite you to our Ash Wednesday communion service here at the church tonight at 6:30. Ash Wednesday is the first day of the season of Lent. Lent on the Christian calendar is the 40 days between now and Easter, excluding Sundays, where Christians typically in a sense, set aside self and really focus on the meaning and the significance of Jesus' journey to the cross, him suffering and dying on our behalf. The 40 days was perhaps chosen by the early church to reflect on and recognize Jesus' 40 days in the wilderness of fasting and praying. And so for us as Christians, the 40 days represents a special time set aside where we, again, reflect on what it really means that Jesus suffered and died for us and our deep, deep need for him. And also a time for us to reflect on our own walk of faith and ask the question, is there anything in our lives that's hindering our walk with the Lord? Anything that's a stumbling block to me growing closer to the Lord? So as we reflect on our spiritual walk with Christ through the season of Lent, it's also a time for perhaps cleansing and renewing our commitment to grow closer to Christ. Of course, as followers of Jesus, we know that we're called to continually grow in the grace and knowledge of the Lord. But again, Lent is a time specifically set aside to reflect on Jesus' journey to the cross and what that really means to us and our call to be faithful followers of him. You know, the biblical principle to reflect on one's own walk of faith is found in both the Old and the New Testaments. In the Old Testament, one example of the call to reflect is found in Lamentations chapter 3, verse 40, where it says, "Let us examine our ways and test them. Let us return to the Lord." In the New Testament, that principle of reflection is echoed in 2 Corinthians 13:5 that says, "Examine yourselves to see whether you are in the faith. Test yourselves." So the call to reflect on one's own walk and then do something about it is made very clear in the scriptures. You know, the word Lent is not found in the Bible anywheres. And as I mentioned, it really is a time set aside, designated by the early church centuries ago for Christians to reflect. The word Lent comes from the Anglo-Saxon word Lengten, which is the word for spring. And it's believed that perhaps that word was chosen because of the lengthening of the days as we have additional sunshine each day and the days seem to grow longer. So, as Lent comes from the word lengthen, maybe for us as followers of Christ, the question ought to be this: to what lengths would we go to reflect on ourselves, to strive to walk closer to the Lord? To what lengths would we go to walk closer to him and remove anything that's a hindrance to him? Or maybe the question is, to what lengths would we go to spend extra time with the Lord and really hunker down in our faith and strive to know him better and better each and every day? So this is Pastor George praying that as we begin the season of Lent, that you'll have a blessed Lent and that you'll go to the lengths that the Lord calls you to seek to know him better and to grow closer to him. God bless you today.